Hello. I'm going to wait for a few people to come on here as usual. I'm going to drink my coffee like usual. Today I'm going to talk about the idea of clean eating and the idea of diets in general. I'm going to be going over a lot of diets that people have been asking me about lately, and I'm going to break them down in a way that shows you that they're really all just different manipulations of the same damn thing. And when you know what that damn thing is, you don't have to worry about following a diet plan or what works best. There is no best diet or anything. Hey Justin, what's up? I'm gonna wait for a few more people to jump on here. And Tori's on here. What's up, girl? We're going to wait for a few more people to jump on here. We're going to talk a little bit about the clean eating trend. We're going to talk about keto. We're going to talk about Whole30. We're going to talk about Atkins. Any diet plan. I'm going to talk about how all of those diet plans are just different manipulations of the same thing, and how keeping us really really clueless about that is really what feeds the industry, and that's not doing you a service, it's doing the industry a service. So let's talk about how you can figure out your nutrition for yourself without thinking so much about that. And Ben's on here. I'm waiting for a few more people to jump on, and then we're going to get into it. So if you are watching the replay, go ahead and skip to 2 to 3 minutes. That's usually where we get on there. Hey Meg, what's up, girl? Oh my God, I haven't heard from you so long. I love seeing people on here that I know from school or I know from wherever. Meg and I, we were friends back in college, so she's awesome. I love her to death. And I'm glad she's here. So I'm gonna wait for a few more. Hey Kelly, what's up, girl? So I'm gonna jump in. Kim's on here. Hey, I'm gonna jump into this, and then if people come on again, like always, they can go ahead and watch the replay. So we're going to talk a little bit about dietary specificity today, nutritional specificity, and we're going to talk about why clean eating without the correct strategy is not going to do shit for you. A lot of us can lose weight initially if we are eating clean, so to speak. Like, we know when we're eating shit and when we're not. But when you get down to the wire and you start plateauing and you say, okay, I lost like 10 to 20 pounds, or maybe you even lost 80 pounds, whatever it is. But I'm at this point now where I want to tone up and I want to look lean, not just decrease the size of my body. I can't do it. I can't get any further. I'm plateauing, right? You can lose weight by decreasing your calories or by eating clean, so to speak, if you have an awareness of what that means. But you can't go further with it. You can't get more specific with it. And you're likely going to be unable to get toned in the way that you want to be toned, right? You're going to shrink the size of your body, but you're not going to change the quality of what it looks like, which, ladies, is what most of us want, right? And men as well. So one of my biggest frustrations when I talk to people on the phone, when I'm signing up a new client, or I'm just talking to someone in general and they're asking me about workouts or whatever, a lot of people, they say, okay, I need help with my my workout strategy, or it's one or the other. A lot of people, they say, I need help with my workout strategy, but I know how to eat. I know how to eat healthy. I don't need help with that. I know how to eat food. And I'm like, Oh, you do? Because if you knew how to eat for your body, then you wouldn't be talking to me right now. You would have already reached your goals. My question to you is why are we talking, right? If you know how to eat, then why are we talking? And a lot of people, they say, oh, well, because I know how, but I haven't been doing it. And I'm like, I don't care. Because in the past, you still didn't reach the goals that you had, the more specific goals that you had. Like I said, maybe you lost weight, but you didn't get toned in the way that you wanted. You didn't show the muscle in the way that you wanted. There's a difference between shrinking the size of your body, which is simplified, right? And then when you get more specific about how you want to look, right? And that's why one size fits all programming, generally speaking, one size fits all meal plans, which is generally what you're going to get from the fitness industry in this day and age, will help you to lose weight generally. But there comes a point where you've lost the weight and you want more. You want to change the way you look beyond the weight, right? Not the size of your body, but the quality of the mass that you are maintaining. And without nutritional specificity, it is not going to happen. So like I said, if you're watching the replay, go ahead and skip back to the beginning or whatever. If you're watching it now, just make sure you watch the beginning after this, because I always hate to feel like I'm repeating myself, but I want everybody to be on the same page. So even healthy choices, even eating clean, can get you not towards your goals as quickly as you want to, right? Or you could be, going backwards, okay? You could be going backwards. So what I mean by this is you can eat 3, 4, 5, 6 meals a day, and they can all be healthy in an isolated sense, right? Chicken, rice, avocado, broccoli, very healthy meal, super healthy meal. All of your meals could look like this. All of your meals could be healthy in an isolated sense. But if you don't have a scope of the day throughout a whole, right? How many of each macronutrient you are getting throughout the entire day added up, you are not going to get there, okay? And what I mean by that is you can be eating really healthy meals all day long. You can be eating clean and you could still be eating too many carbs, too few fats, too many fats, too few carbs, too much protein, too little protein. Your proportions can be all out of whack. So what happens is, if you are only cutting calories and that's all you're worried about, you will lose weight. You will decrease the size of your body. But if you want to change the quality of the mass that you maintain, not just getting smaller, if you're 8,000, excuse, that's just mean. If you're really overweight, right? Yes, simple things will cause you to lose weight, right? And that's the first step, is to lose the weight, right? But once you've shrunk your body, you want to look good in the new skin that you have, and you're not going to accomplish that with vague and unspecified dietary practices like clean eating, okay? So even healthy choices can be arbitrary, which means you can be eating healthy all day and you can still gain weight. We all know that. Avocado is great for you. It's healthy for you. Potatoes are great for you. They're healthy for you. Both of these things can make you gain weight or lose weight, but the proportions of these things all together during the day is going to dictate whether that happens or not. So if a woman comes to me and she's not reaching her goals, she's not looking toned, and she says, I don't understand why, because I know how to eat, I say to her, honey, you don't know how to eat. You know how to eat healthy, but you don't know how to eat for you. You don't know how to eat for you, okay? And I think the biggest problem in this industry, right, is that when we follow a diet plan or a diet that has a label on it, we are following the diet, but we don't know why. We're following the diet and we say, oh, keto works or Whole30 works. It's not keto that works. It's not Whole30 that works. It's the macronutrient breakdown that diet portrays that works for your body, but it's not about the name. It's about the macros, okay? So every day you have a breakdown of carbs, proteins, and fats, okay? So if someone is eating 1,800 calories and someone else is eating 1,800 calories, their macronutrient breakdowns could look vastly different. One of them might be eating twice as much protein as the other. One of them might be eating twice as many carbs as the other. One of them might function better on a lower carb, higher fat diet, or vice versa, but they're still both eating 1,800 calories. So it's not about the calories. It's not about eating clean. It's about figuring out what works for you for a couple different things, okay? Number one, your height, your body weight, your current body stats, right? Your sex, okay? Your metabolic rate, which is something that based on trial and error, you kind of have to figure out with a coach. If you have been restricting for a long time, you've probably fucked it up, excuse me. And your goals and your exercise and your goals, right? So Clara and Sarah have Sarah, that was funny. I said Sarah as an example and you hopped on. Clara and Sarah have two extremely different goals. One wants to build muscle. The other wants to only lose fat. They're both eating 1,800 calories, but they're eating different macros. So it doesn't matter if they're both eating clean. They're not going to have that specific breakdown, okay? So what I want to get at here is that I get questions all the time, and this is very frustrating. This video is a product of getting a question from someone about what is the best diet plan that you suggest or whatever. And I was like, there isn't one. Like, if your name is Clarice, the diet plan is the Clarice diet plan, right? Like, all of us want to know what's the most effective, what's the best one to follow. And people are telling you, they're like, oh, it's keto, it's low carb, right? It's Atkins, it's Whole30. None of these diets are successful because they are keto, because they are Whole30. They are successful or not because they just so happen to be pretty close to your optimized macronutrients for your goals. So, for example, every single diet with a label on it like this is just a different manipulation of the same three factors: carbs, proteins, and fats. I'll repeat that. There is no such thing as a different diet. Every single diet with a label on it, besides other types of diets like veganism that actually cut certain types of foods out, right? Most of these diets are just a manipulation of the same three factors. Okay? And now I want to just repeat here that I don't believe in following a diet plan that you don't understand. So many people, they follow keto and they're like, oh, I know it's low carb and high fat, but they don't know why. They don't know about protein, how that goes in there, and they don't know about the relativity between carbs and fats, and they don't know that if they want to build muscle, it's not optimal, and they don't know that it's not optimal for anyone, and they don't know, based on their goals, what they require. All they know is that it worked for them, it made them lose fat, but is that optimal, right? So I don't believe in following a diet plan that you don't understand, because what happens if you follow a diet plan that you don't understand is that you put the success under the label of keto, under the label of Whole30, under the label of Atkins, instead of putting that success under the label of a certain type of macronutrient breakdown, right? So if I'm putting a woman on a carb cycle, this means that she's eating the same number of calories every single day. But on certain days, she eats really high carb, really low fat. And on other days, she eats really high fat, really low carb. So you could say that half the time she is following a ketogenic diet, like technically speaking, but it's different for every woman. So it's not a keto diet, it's a Sarah diet, it's a Jen diet, it's a Megan diet, right? It's for her, it's not for a name, okay? People are blindly following diets with names and labels on them, right? Because they don't have an understanding of what's beneath this all. And again, I'm here to tell you that the same 3 factors are beneath every single diet. Keto, Whole30, Atkins, low carb, high fat, low carb. All of these diets are a manipulation of the same 3 factors. So wouldn't it be amazing if instead of asking me, what is the best diet plan to follow? Because there isn't one. Wouldn't it be amazing if every single one of us just had an understanding of our carbs, proteins, and fats based on our bodies, based on our metabolisms, based on our goals, based on our current body stats, based on our exercise levels, based on our sex? If we had an understanding in the same way that we have an understanding of what we need emotionally, or what kind of clothes that we like to wear, how much makeup we like, anything like that, right? If we just had that basic understanding of our own nutrition, you wouldn't be asking me what's the best diet plan to follow. You would be saying, help me figure out what my diet plan is, right? Because there is no best diet plan to follow. There's no such thing as, there's no such thing as keto. This is something that the industry has put a label on, because if we keep people clueless to the fact that beneath all of these names of Whole30, keto, all of these things are the same 3 factors in different proportions, being proteins, carbs, and fats. If we can keep people ignorant to that fact, right, and put a label on it and sell it, it's easier to sell it and have people start asking, like, what's the best diet? What's the best diet? How can I lose weight as quickly as possible? And I'm like, you can't ask your friend what the best diet is, because whatever is good for her is not going to work for you, not necessarily. You have different goals, you have a different body, right? Keto is just a macronutrient breakdown. Atkins is just a macronutrient breakdown. They're all just macronutrient breakdowns. And the same deal, right? There are certain levels of, for fat loss, there are certain percentages that most people will find success with. So if you're on a diet where it's a lot of meal replacement shakes, it's not the meal replacement shake that makes you lose weight. It's the simple fact that the meal replacement shake is designed to hit those numbers that makes you lose weight. But you could do that with food if you only knew how, right? If you only knew how. So there's no such thing, right? I don't think there's any such thing as